Hi guys, this is Moise and this is a tutorial on how to install GlassFish 3.1 onto your Eclipse IDE. Now before we actually get to installing Eclipse on the GlassFish onto the Eclipse IDE itself, there is a bunch of software that you need to make sure is already present and running onto your system. So first things first, we need to install the Java Runtime Environment 6. I'm running it with the update 29. You can install Java Runtime Environment 7, but I highly recommend against it because there are some problems reported with JRE 7, some unexpected errors, and some web applications being crashed when you're running it on GlassFish. So I don't recommend it. The link for that is posted here, also in the description box below. Secondly, you need to install the Java Development Kit Enterprise Edition 6. Again, that's the one that I'm running at the moment. And that would also include GlassFish 3.1 in the bundle because it's bundled up into two, three different things. Now, lastly, the Java Development Kit Update 7. I highly recommend it, though it is not completely mandatory. But since I'm using it, I too recommend that you have it because it's good to have the latest Java Development Kit software running onto your system. Also, when you install the JDK bundled with the GlassFish 3.1, it's going to ask you for onto which port you're going to install GlassFish 3.1. And make sure you choose a port that has nothing running on it, because at the moment I have on the ports 8085 and 8089, I have Tomcat 6 and Tomcat 7 running, so that's why I chose 8080 for the installation of GlassFish. Now I'm just gonna show you how these websites just look like, just so you have an idea of a way to get them from and what to get from these websites. So for the Development Kit 7, I chose for my Windows 64-bit version this link right here. And for the Java Runtime Environment Update 6, I chose again Windows 64-bit version right here. And the SDK, again I chose this 64-bit version right here. And this is the one that is bundled with GlassFish 3.1. So after you install them, your GlassFish would be installed by default into your C drive called C //GlassFish 3. So now we boot up our Eclipse, new workspace. Also on my Eclipse I already have Oracle GlassFish installed. So this is why in the server's perspective you are already seeing an internal GlassFish 3.1.1 installed. So I'm just gonna go to help, because this is what you need to do if you haven't already installed GlassFish. Go to install new software, click add. Now I already have this website added, so it's gonna give me an error. Type in GlassFish Update Center. You can name it whatever you want, but just name it generically. And again, the location is the one that I have posted in the description box below. It is download.java.net/glassfish/eclipse/indigo, Indigo being the version of Eclipse that we are running at the moment. Paste it there and see, it should say duplicate location. So just click OK, and in your work with, type in GlassFish. It should show the option right there. Click that and it should show up an option called GlassFish Application Server. You need to expand that because you don't need all of the softwares that it shows. Only 2 are needed. So click on GlassFish 3.1 and Oracle GlassFish Server Tools and click Next. Now I already have these installed, so it's just gonna give me an error once again, but it's gonna ask you to accept some software agreements, and after it finishes installing, it's gonna ask you to restart your Eclipse. And after you restart your Eclipse, in order to make sure that you have it installed properly, go to Help and go to About Eclipse, and it should show up this OEPE icon right here. Click on that, and in that it should show up Oracle GlassFish Server Tools option. That means that all of your server tools have been successfully installed and you're ready to install GlassFish onto your Eclipse IDE. And another thing, before we actually get to input the server in the server's pane, you need to switch your GRE to the JDK for the as the runtime environment for Eclipse, because GlassFish requires that you need to have the Java development kit, not a GRE. So go to Window, Preferences, under Java, go to Install GREs, click Add, Standard VM next. GRE Home, I have installed my JDK in C, Program Files, Java, and click JDK. That's it, that's all we need. Click OK, and it should show up a bunch of lists in the GRE system libraries. Click Finish, and click JDK 1.7.0.01 and click OK. Now we're ready to use GlassFish with Eclipse. So in servers, right click, go to New, Server, and under GlassFish, go on GlassFish 3.1.1. It should give you a bunch of options, Apache and everything. Now we're installing GlassFish, so we have to choose GlassFish 3.1. Don't change anything, don't change the host name or the server name, click Next. As the GRE, chose JDK 1.7, and the application server directory is the one that I mentioned earlier, the C://GlassFish3. So I have installed it in my C drive, GlassFish3, and that's what you need to choose, GlassFish3 or GlassFish. Click OK, click Next. Admin name and password, you can input it if you want. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. Click Finish, and it should show up in the server's pane right here. And in order to test if it's working or not, I'm just gonna start it up. So if you're running GlassFish for the first time, it takes a while to start up. That's how it is. There we go, it said started and synchronized. Now just to make sure that everything is in order, if we go to our browser and type in localhost 8080, because 8080, remember, that's the port that we installed GlassFish on. So hit enter, and it should show GlassFish server 3.1.1 is now running. Now go back to Eclipse, close the server, and now if you go back again to your browser and type in localhost 8080, it should give you an error saying nothing is running on it. There we go. So now that we have made sure that everything is running in order, we have reached the end of the tutorial. And please rate, comment, and subscribe. Any additions or how the tutorials could be made better are always appreciated. So until next time, take care guys, bye bye.